Welcome to Spirit Sessions with Moon and Maria. Make sure to share out the video, guys, so others can benefit and resonate with the messages tonight. Even if they don't get picked, at least they could learn something important. We have a special Spirit Session night tonight. But before we get started, I want to do some announcements. The new Thimes magazine with my article is in. This is this will be considered the summer article. The team's going to launch this on the website crystalcovegems.com tomorrow for you guys. It won't be launched tonight or today because we just got it in, but it will be launched tomorrow on the website crystalcovegems.com. And the article you guys are going to get is Understanding Your True Hidden Self with the Help of Shadow Crystals. And it's a pretty long article. It's about 9 pages. I think I took up half the magazine. I had a lot to say. So, I didn't give them any of my stock photos like I did in the last 2 articles, so maybe next time I will. But the funny thing is, this background we use in a lot of my branding. Did you notice that?
The colors, I know.
Yeah, right? I'm like, what? Just put me on the cover. It'll go with my brands. So anyway, those of you who missed the KFL live show last night, I talked a lot about grounding. The cosmic communication with the GFL and the KFL was about grounding right now. And they presented the symptoms of grounding, which I'll go over some of them. It's losing your balance, knocking into things, losing your memory, getting easily hurt, like you're bumping into stuff, you're dropping things all the time. Early release went to the KFL audience, so they were able to buy theirs first. Bhaktia told us that the symptoms of grounding are spaciness, not paying attention, poor memory, dropping things quite often, running into things quite often, and unbalanced. So like, let's say for example you get out of your bed and all of a sudden you're like falling over, you can't seem to grab your balance. So those are the grounding, and she said it's so very important right now to ground. So she gave me the recipe for the grounding spray. Thought it was kind of neat. So you just throughout the day spray it, but at night, and I love this nozzle, it is so easy. It's just like, it just spreads everywhere. So we have the new cool nozzles on this one, and you can lock it up. There's a locking system here, so it sprays, and when you push it in, it won't spray. Okay, so this is crystal infused with garnet, not just garnet but star garnet. It was her way of like cosmically putting her signature on it. But garnet is known to balance. We did put actual garnet tumbled pieces that you can put in your bra to use throughout the day to work with while you're doing the spray. Garnet is known to, well, I was told spiritually, garnet is your go-to to keep you balanced and on the ground. And since I started getting that message and we've been selling garnet, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people saying it's actually helping from not being it's helping them not be balanced, helping them to be better balanced. Sorry. So yes, this will help, and it has garnet in it. Also has black tourmaline and black onyx infused crystals in this as well. And then grounding support roll-on for the bottom of your feet. So the big thing here is if you want to get extra grounding during the nighttime, you put this on your feet, put socks on, and you're set to go for grounding yourself throughout the night. So that is the grounding spray that we presented in the KFL. The recipe is not my own. It is Bhaktia's GFL representative, the aquatic humanoid that I spoke about last night. And then we have the roll-on for the bottom of your feet at nighttime for extra support. This is flying off our shelves already. When I presented it to early access to the KFL people, a lot of orders come in for it. That's the thing. I'm wearing it as perfume. It smells so good. I did put some of the smells or some of the essential oils, I gave you guys a little hint of what's in it, but I didn't give you all of them. But there's like up to 8 or 9 essential oils in it. There's a lot of essential oils. There's oils in there I have never worked with in my entire life. I had to go searching for the oils that she showed me. I was like, oh my God. So this is going to be a big hit for summertime right now. Okay. You guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing for another cosmic coaching call. So I am bending and we put it into the schedule for June 3rd. So those live tickets are on the website on Crystal Cove. And we have a very unique group reading session set for June 10th that you can buy the ticket for. We already set up the group page for that group reading. So those are the 2 events that you're going to find on crystalcovegems.com. Okay, now guys, remember, you'll want to share out so that everyone is benefiting. Even if they may not get read, they still may resonate with a message. So let's help others out by sharing the energy of the live. Bhaktia was very strong on me about that. You know, you need to allow others to share you out. I never usually push for you guys to do that. So it's a little strange for me. But Karen, do you want to send an invite and I can bring you up on the live for us? Guys, also, this is kind of what a coaching call kind of looks like. I should start calling them cosmic coaching workshops. So.
Actually feeling well, so I apologize.
Hello.
That I look so horrible.
You're fine.
I have an older son that's dealing with a lot of mental health, issues. Very complicated, medicine related, anxiety, you name it. And concerned about him.
When you divulge to me that it's mental health, or is he being diagnosed with like things like bipolar?
I think he's been on the wrong medicine for quite a while, and he's just started to go to a new practitioner, and they haven't come up with any diagnosis, but he takes he's got ADHD and definitely anxiety and some depression that he's dealt with ever since he was in, high school.
Karen, as he was growing up, did you notice how he kind of started going inside himself and not really?
No, understood.
I don't like to diagnose people. Well, no, in the sense of there is nothing wrong with your son other than the fact that he's an empath. And I also want to talk about why you're laid up, because I feel you have basically tucked all of his issues into your own backpack. And
he's sucked the life out of me the last few days, and I literally had a vertigo attack that I was completely off balance.
Yeah, you've tumbled over your backpack. I don't think that you have been fully supported and equipped to handle his strength of being an empath. Empaths, they grow up in somewhat of a traumatic stance because someone in their life caused them to feel unsafe. Which is why he shuts down and he becomes quiet, because he would be the first one. If you took to a party, he would scan the room and he would be able to pinpoint the souls and energy in the room who he knew would be a risk to him. This is what empaths are. They are our warning signs. Anytime you want to be in a safe environment, you always want to take an empath with you, because they are the first to tell you, don't talk to that person, don't go near that person. There's something unsafe about them. But also with empaths, they tend to take on too much energy that's not their own, which is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the aftermath of what he's collected.
Like, he's had a heaviness
and what he
about him for a while.
He's collecting too much, and he's not releasing it back into the environment. He's just and it's making him angry. So if he can find the mechanism, release that energy, which would be, and I'm not sure, I don't see him being a big bath person. But if you can get him to simply sit in a bath with sea salt, he will start to release some of that and let go. But I feel like if he's so restricted with talking and communicating, it's going to be harder on him because he's not releasing. Do you see what I'm saying? He's collecting.
I see it. I just don't know how to guide him, because he's also not as open to things as I might be. You know, like in terms of out.
That's his risk.
What?
He's afraid to take risks. He's afraid to trust.
Yeah.
And let go.
Yeah. So.
So.
Okay.
I want you to start kind of letting go. He's at the age where he's got to figure this out, because you're taking on too much of it. It wasn't part of your mission to start packing your book bag full of his stuff. It's hard to watch them go through it, but there's something he is meant to learn at the end of this.
Okay.
And if you keep trying to coddle it,
it's just he reaches out to me at the at a brink of like a breakdown. You know what I mean? So
well, that's what I'm saying. Don't absorb what he's going through. Observe and be supportive of the difference. Because you're
I think, I have the empath stuff too, so okay.
Well, he would have had to got it from somewhere. Yes.
Okay.
I want you guys to try the sea salt. I've seen it in the past. Is going to need to start cutting cords. So if you are open,
I do.
To, if you have selenite. Okay, if you use selenite underneath the so you're gonna do it here, where your soul is, and you're gonna do
for
3
me and for him,
broad strikes
for both of us.
And yes, and on his back, yes, right where this would go directly to the back, and do 3 strokes again. It's hard to work. Like there's some I can do with a parent, but when it comes to the direct person at hand, I need to work with him one-on-one. He has to be able to trust.
Well, I'll start with myself, and I will see if he's open to some of this stuff for himself.
Also, article that I made. Another empath was asking, and it's a blog that I did. It's it's at least probably 30 pages of
Yeah,
just
I'll look
chock full
for
of
it. I
stuff
think
for
that
you
makes a lot
guys
of
to be
sense
supported.
because he's been in a very negative work environment for quite a while. I think,
That's the empath shouldn't be in an
yeah,
environment that will
yeah,
cause them to be
no,
more at
understood. That
risk
makes
because
sense.
they're more closed off and angry.
Yep,
But he has to be willing to
yep.
see other paths that are
No,
more
I think
to
he's
him.
probably more open than he's ever been because, he wants to feel better.
If you can find a way to get into the tub and do sea salt, you might see that your
I'm going to do it
ailment
tonight.
starts relieving itself.
Okay, thank
Okay. And you have to start
you. Yeah,
unloading your backpack because you're
yeah.
going to keep having
I
those
understand.
pop-up
Don't wish
moments.
to repeat for sure.
It's okay to repeat
Right.
because it just simply teaches you where you're going wrong with the learning. So
Yeah.
it's okay to make mistakes along the way as long as you are saying, okay, I did it this way the first time. What am I learning from it the second time and the third time? I keep making this either the same mistake
Right.
or I'm making
Right.
similar mistakes that equal up to that mistake. Which you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be learning. You're never going to perfect anything learning unless you really dive deep and
Yeah.
take the
Thank you.
gumption to
I
want to dive
appreciate
deep into it. You're very welcome. You're welcome. And we
Thank
and
you.
myself,
Good
we
night.
all hope you feel better. You're welcome. All right. Who is next for a call? What is an issue you may be having problems with? And then we are going to go right into loved ones who have crossed. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, the suicide blog, I was very much drawn to putting that up on YouTube. We've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of messages about that video and how it's been helping a lot of people. So that was my whole point with that video. I was hoping to help a lot of people. Let's see, Pina, let's try. Okay, Pina. But thank you, Kathy, for the comment.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, here we go.
I'm
Hello.
wonderful.
Good, how are you?
Well, struggling with
What's your question for me?
separation and divorce and all of the mixed signals that go with it.
Okay, present me
In the end,
what
I
you
want
want,
the cord
what you would
just
like
to be
see.
totally severed. Right now, it's just hard to do that.
Okay, so let me ask you.
I keep falling into
What
the
makes
old
it hard?
patterns, allowing myself to be drugged back into it.
Why do you think that is?
Part of it is because I want to know why. I want to know why he did what he did. The other part is there's still feelings there on my part. And I have a hard time letting go. I
What
will
if you
have to
never
be.
get that answer? Are you going to be okay with that? There's a difference between having to be and deeply knowing that maybe
Yes,
you're
I've
better
heard
off
that.
not. How do you think it will benefit you by knowing?
Because I would finally know the truth. Yes.
But you already know the truth.
Yeah, I
So what more
honestly,
do you want to know?
I don't know. It's just,
What if I told you it's not that you're incomplete, it's maybe the fact that he's
that
incomplete.
makes sense.
And the answers you seek aren't really something you need because you already know the answer to that question. It's like if he says it out loud, is it truly
I
going to
think it'll
change
make things
anything, or
worse.
is it going to make things worse? Because if you think about it, what he did
Correct.
is a failed mechanism in his own learning, correct? Not in yours, because you didn't do the wrong. So maybe he isn't fully ready for someone to hold him in such high esteem with love, because he himself is still working through traumas of love. It's hard to love someone when they don't understand love in the first place. So you give so much of yourself hoping that they see that, this is what love is. But it's hard for someone to see something when they're blind. It's not until they get an eye surgery that they see better. It would have to take his own journey to have the eye surgery happen. Nothing you're doing is wrong or right. It just is he's not ready. So now it's time to let go and allow yourself to pull in somebody who is. There's something I want you to try doing.
Sometimes, yeah,
Do you tend to have memory loss, trouble remembering?
yes.
Do you feel like maybe your body's in motion? Because your soul is actually right here. It's not in the body. I'm talking to your outer core because I know you're not here with me fully. So I want you to on a daily basis start breathing back in. Each time you exhale, you're going to start feeling you coming back in. Now the only downside to breathing yourself in is a reality is going to hit that you've been absent from all the emotions and trying to keep yourself safe, when really the only way to heal is to allow yourself to feel. It's time for you to feel, and that's going to take you on a journey of finally letting go, because when you're here, you're not letting go. You're just collecting more and more stuff that's just keeping you here. I can tell you that you are going to be okay, and that one day you're going to sit on your porch in the sun and it's going to dawn on you, wow, I really put myself into a learning, and I'm kind of glad it's over. Because if you don't heal right and you don't feel those emotions fully right now, you're going to take this with you into the next relationship where you're just going to keep hovering and you're not going to fully be there. And you're going to start, the body's going to start trying to give more than what it's receiving again. So if you breathe yourself and feel the emotions, let yourself cry.
Well,
Let yourself
with what
feel
he
it.
did, like the big lie and the big accusation, um, the main thing is my conscience is clear with that. I mainly just want to know
Yeah.
that the people that actually believe it are hopefully going to eventually realize it wasn't me. his
How
direct
important are
family,
those people to you?
not as important as what my family is.
And is your
My son is
family
having the most
accusing you?
difficult time accepting the truth from me.
Maybe hold off on the truth. Maybe allow him to view for himself and observe. It's hard to be the messenger of things, especially when somebody's not ready to change a path that they've been used to. So you end up becoming the enemy, not the savior in the end. So maybe taking a few steps back, letting them observe the truth. Because it's one thing to tell somebody a story rather than them being with you and they lived through it. There's two different perspectives there. They're not living through your perspective. So they're taking stories and glimpses here and there and putting it their own story together. So if you simply sit back, work on yourself and understanding what that looks like for you, everything will come together because they're observing. They're observing who's weaker, who's stronger. And people tend to go with the stronger sense because they feel weak people are unstable and they're unsure about what they might do. And that's the learning that you guys have here on Earth, is there's two patterns you can learn from, strength or weakness. And this is their way of observing both sides. The less talk you do, the more it allows them to create a narrative based off his actions and words. He's always going to be part of your learning. And one day you're going to have to figure out what exactly you were trying to learn from him. It's like planting a flower and digging down to the roots as to why is this flower dying on me? And digging the roots and then seeing what's in the roots that's causing it to die. The flower's still living, but it's wilting. And there's a reason why that's happening.
Yeah.
You will
Very
get through
tired.
it. I do see that you're very tired. But that's the reason why that's happening is because you're here and you're not here fully. So you're taking on extra energy because you're not
That makes sense.
here. Start, breathe yourself back in and use that extra energy to embrace what's happened, embrace yourself in love, because right now your soul needs you. You need you. Everybody else will figure it out. You can be supportive to your son, but I don't think this is going to do much from this point on. You said your piece. Now it's up to him to figure it out.
Thank you so much.
I wish you luck. Breathe. Breathe.
Yes.
Stop holding it back. Let it out. You're like a tight ball. And do something nice for yourself. Because I think you deserve it after you've put so much into this and you didn't really get as much back.
Yes. Have a good night.
Welcome. I will see or talk to you soon, okay? Hello, guys. It's on YouTube, moon.eir, the divine medium. And this is why I do this, guys. If somebody else's story is resonating with you, there's a reason why you're hearing their story. Nancy Fisher, do you want to try to do the invite? Let's maybe those next.
Sorry, her buttons on her phone kept going crazy.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah,
I have an
do that
iPhone
with
and she
Yvonne's
has like
phone.
a
I'm always
Samsung or
like,
something, so
where
I
am
can't.
I? Yes, I have the iPhone. She has the that I don't know how to use. Okay.
Okay,
Why don't you
so
present your question for me?
me and my boyfriend have been dating for like almost 2 years, and he's done some like not so good stuff, but like he's also human, and I've also done some not great stuff in our relationship too, but now none of my family wants us together, especially my mom. And like I love him and he's my happiness and my best friend, and I like she's not letting us be together, I guess. So I don't know what to do.
Okay. Did you know, did you notice how you
What?
quickly
Sorry.
made an excuse for him and yourself? Did you notice how you made
Yeah.
excuses for him and yourself? Do you know what that tells me? I don't think that you're fully happy. I think you're comfortable. And I think that he feels safe at times. And I still think that you two are still figuring things out and you're trying to do it together,
Yeah.
but you keep hurting each other in the process. Do you see yourself with him in a year or two?
I do, but I don't. Like I
I want
think
you to
I
be
want to
honest.
be with him, but like I don't know. Nobody else wants us together, so like I don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Let's kind of shoo everybody behind right now because we're concentrating on you. Let's ignore everybody's wanting for your life because it is your life. You're the one learning. So if you weren't with him in a year or two, what does that look like for you?
I don't know, probably boring. 16.
How old are you?
That's
So
true.
in 2 years, you graduate and go to college. Now imagine what your life would be without him.
Probably successful.
Now let's say you guys are together and it's 40 years later. What does that look like? I really want you to think about the relationship and 40 years later.
I don't know, nothing comes to my head.
Do you see happiness or do you see strife and challenging?
Like challenging.
And your inner light being dimmed and you getting emotionally tired of the emotional roller coaster that you've both been on. And we're taking mom out of the equation. We're not thinking about mom or what she wants. We're taking in the equation of what do you see your life going towards? And what does that exactly look like for you? It's getting down and putting into your mind a perception of a scenario of what you think that brings to you. What do you think you are learning from him right now? What is one thing that you can come up with that you think you're learning?
I don't know. Probably how to be strong, I guess. Like, yeah,
Are you
very.
becoming strong?
Yeah, very. A lot more than I ever
Are you
have.
speaking your voice? Because why? Is it because you're tired of being pushed around?
Yeah.
And are you using that voice mainly with him? So yeah, he is teaching you something. But what if I told you he was meant to teach you that something and then move on? Because somebody else is on their way to teach you something more. And I think what holds you back is your own confidence that you don't think you're worthy enough
Yeah.
for someone else.
Thank you.
When I'm telling
I just,
you, very
I
much are.
feel,
And I'm not just, I'm seeing your higher self up here. If I told you you had many, many past lives of great, at one point you
no,
were
I
an
mean, I
author.
like
Do you
to,
read?
but I don't, like, in my free time.
Not, let's say not
Oh, yeah,
books.
yeah.
Let's say you read things that are interesting to you, like a
Yeah,
blog on
and, like, if I'm
Facebook
trying to figure out how to
or
do
something in a
something, like, I'll
magazine.
read all of it, or, like, how to help or cure something. Like, I'll, like, read all of it.
Mhm. You are still young in your learning as a soul, but you've had many lives of greatness. And if you can understand that you've had those lives and they've taken you very, very far in your learning, you can feel and tap into that to see further out past a person that you have to make excuses for. When you have to make excuses, I think you already know your answer as to what you need to do. No one said you can't be friends. No one said you can't be best friends. But let's take the equation out of a relationship. What does that look like? You being best friends, and that's it. And supporting one another through life. Because when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of intimacy, you don't work, you clash. But as best friends, it seems to click. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So continue that friendship with him. But understand that when you are making excuses for one another, the intimacy isn't really there. You're just using it as an excuse to stay connected. But if you understand that there's another path to stay connected, then you might not be so inclined to want to weigh in on that intimacy as much as you used to. But it will take you to make that decision of, let's try something different. And it's not because of mom, and it's not because of your friends or my friends. It's, let's try something different and see where it goes. And it's not because it's because of us. And I know deep down you're scared to even try that because you got so
Very. I'm
comfortable
so scared.
with him. Yeah. But what
I
makes
don't
you
know, I just
scared?
feel
What
like
is
he
it?
needs my help. No.
And you need to be intimate to do that?
Obviously.
Do you see where you can still support him and be there for him and help him? But I don't think down you're happy. I think that you're taking a lot of weight on that isn't yours. That seems to be the norm for tonight's theme, taking on other people's
Yeah,
stuff
that's true.
that isn't our own. He was there to help you build strength and worthiness within yourself, but you're teaching him something, and that's what he needs to understand as well. But you have a long road ahead of you, and you're going to take on paths of learning that are going to be very interesting, and you're going to meet interesting people. But if he's still by your side in intimacy mind frame, you're not going to be able to meet those people because that his streak of
Why
jealousy is
does
going to
everything you
hinder
say,
that.
it, like, matches perfectly? Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's what I do, dear. You won't be able to have the friends that you need because in heaven you had a soul contract that you came up with. You picked the certain people you wanted to learn from. Now when those people come into your life, they're counting on you to make that connection with them. And when you have somebody that can't figure their shit out and they're pushing that onto you and saying me, not them, you're basically telling all those people, well, go find someone else. But they agreed and you agreed to help each other. So you have to think about that in the long run, how that's going to hinder your path towards others and how you're meant to help them and they are to help you. That's super important right now. And I think the reason your mom sees something you don't is because she doesn't want you to get hurt like she got hurt. Have you ever actually sat with her and talked about the path that she took and the pain that she went through?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something you should talk about with her. Because she sees a foreshadowing of you going through the same thing she
She
did.
always does.
And she understands how bad it was. So you kind of have to give her credit for
Thank
at
you.
least trying to help you and protect you. You're welcome. You think about, but you have a very interesting path that I think that you should
Okay.
consider in the long run.
Thank you. I
Okay?
appreciate it.
I wish you the best, my
Have
dear.
a good night. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Too. Eventually she'll see how adorable she really is. She'll look in the mirror and go, what the heck am I doing? I'm super cute. Thank you, Terry Allen. Okay, let's do a spirit connection real quick. See where that takes us. Okay, this is a little broad. I'm trying to get him to kind of show me more. He's very quick to showing me answers, but he's hesitant in being more detailed about who he is. It is a male. It is an older male, mid-50s. I kept seeing the number 56. He was showing me equipment. I keep seeing equipment in like a garage type area or maybe a barn. I get more of a feeling of a barn, like an older barn that's maybe run down. Now he's kind of showing me some details now. A rundown barn, and I'm seeing like the color red, but it's like super fainted, and I'm seeing more wood than color. Okay, he's showing me chest pain, which tells me he had some kind of heart issue. Trouble breathing. And this is due to his smoking, because he just showed me smoking and using tobacco, those kind of products, a tobacco kind of product that brings on smoke. He definitely shows me fixing this equipment or fixing or fidgeting with equipment. This could be his job, or it can be something that it was a hobby to him. I'm getting darker colored eyes, darker colored hair. But he is mentioning that it would go like a more of a blonder color in the summer because of being out in the sun so much. I should say turned lighter because I almost see like a bronzy blonde. As he grew older, he could no longer do fixing of this equipment. And this is due to the breathing issues. I did get baby blue at first, but then it muddled over with a dark color, like a browny green. I just very quickly saw hot dogs. Carol, let me ask you something. Where does the hot dogs fit in if this is your Fred? Because I think that because I saw the blue and I feel like there's two here that are trying to separate each other. I just heard hot dogs out back. Frankfurt? Is that like a type of hot dog? Really? I don't even know how to spell that. Frankfurt? Nancy, tell her I'm sorry for that. That happens because I'm talking to her soul, who's basically tattletelling on her, is how I kind of see it. It's like, listen, this is what she's been kind of doing. So that's what happens. That's why I'm able to fully understand what's going on. I know some people think maybe it's like an invasion, but it's not. When I'm not going into the mind, I'm getting direct from the soul, who is providing me everything that they want me to know. So, okay, great. You'll have to bring her in to see me, Nancy. I'd like to see her in person. I don't have anybody for the other guy, the dark-haired guy. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Hold on. Maria said I bypassed it. Kathy Marie. Kathy Marie, did I read for you before for this gentleman? Kathy, let's go with you, and then Carol, I'm going to do next. Kathy, can you try to do an invite? If you're comfortable with it, I'm not pushing you to do it. We want you guys to feel very comfortable. Carol, yeah, I got the heart attack. These two guys are definitely working side by side with the energy. I got the dropping to the knees in the barn while working on this equipment. He doesn't show me the equipment exactly. I just see a lot of silver metal stuff. So I'm not really seeing, so I don't know if he did like full body stuff where he's like putting together cars, but I was seeing mainly like there was like a bunch of metal stuff over here that had different colors to it, that maybe were pieced together to put something else over here together. I don't, but this over here, what I'm seeing to the left of me, is more like on the silver rough metal, and somebody's messing with my left eye. Carol and Kathy, which one had the problem with the left eye? Carol, this is definitely him. Carol said, not that I know of, but I was at the doctor's today for my left eye. All right. Well, that confirms that enough. All right. Carol, do you know how to add me? Oh, wait, never mind. I added you. Oh, I can't bring you on, it says. This Facebook is just, my goodness. And I don't think I can bring Kathy on because you're not on my list to do that. Okay, his message to you is, he was there while you were getting your eye looked at. I mean, he definitely like was like quivering my eye, like to tell me like, oh, hey, pay attention to the eye. Like that's when they do this to me, to like my eye will vibrate because they are full on touching my area. So if I'm full on vibrating in a certain area, they are very much touching me in that area to say like, pay attention. I just don't know what they're trying to show me by doing that. So, Carol, do you want to ask him anything? I mean, the hot dogs, which is his signature quote, and now the left eye. Yeah, we definitely have your, I believe you said it was your husband. Oh, Carol, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, don't worry about the question. You're fine. Just know that he's with you, and he's just letting you know he was with you today for your eye. And nothing you do, he's not around watching and observing. So that's what I think that's about. Okay. And moving on. Ooh, our next one's a female. She has shaky hands. I feel like she's talking to me in this brassy voice, which tells me, you know those people that like smoke too much, you can hear it in the voice.
Yeah, it's raspy.
It's like raspy. Oh, she just pinched me. Ow. She's sassy, but I think she's pinching because she's pinching somebody that is in the audience. That's her way of saying, pay attention. I'm here to talk to you. Let me explain what the pinching is. I understand that it's pinching, but you may not. Pinching energy, it feels like your hair got caught on something and it pulled, and you get that like quick sharp pain, like somebody just pulled or yanked a hair out of your arm. This is a spirit loved one doing this to you. So that's what that looks like. It's almost like every so often you'll get this like yank of a hair and you're like, ow. And it's just real quick, but that's them pinching you to pay attention that they're around. Not sure too many people understand what that is, but that's what they're doing when they are pinching you, to let you know they are around. So if you feel like this is happening to you, this may be your person. I do sense that she was fun and I don't even know the right word. Blunt, I guess is the word. Fun but blunt, like to the point. I mean, that's like kind of what made her funny, I guess. She keeps showing me the age of 40s. Almost like she died maybe too young, or what we would consider too young here on Earth. I do get was sick, but her passing was like quick. I did see her with like one of those like plasticky masks that's like hooked up to like a machine. Yeah, because she was having trouble breathing because of the smoke, all the smoking she did. It's almost like it caught up to her. I just want to say, like, the equipment that was next to her almost looked like a green color. And it's like a tubey looking thing. Metal tube. That's like hooked up to these like plastic wires, which led to the plastic mask. Deborah, does this sound like your loved one, honey? Like it would have to, it would have to all add up. So this is your daughter-in-law? Deborah, do you want to ask her a specific question? The only reason I say that is because she comes in and out. I don't really have a hold on her to get a full message. So you're going to want to present one that you'd like to know. Deborah, her coming through may be her way of showing you that she's with him. And this could be her way of pushing through. Let me see if I can't pull something from him. Deborah, do you get the sense with his death that it was I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Maybe like a sense of giving up, because there was such a pull towards her and her energy and wanting to be with her. And maybe it was a bit too much for him in the end, if that seems right. I'm getting like this overwhelming feeling of well, basically, all in all, not being here without her kind of feeling, like this this strong loss, and like this sense of like giving up to cross over. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. I'm trying to make sense of the feeling that I'm getting in the best way I can with my own words. Okay, so I'm gonna return back to that though, Deborah. When he's in this pain, were his thoughts kind of going in the sense of not wanting to be without her, this sense of like giving up. And it doesn't have to be with her death. It could just be the feelings he's showing me with what kind of went on in his life. Because I get this like overwhelming feeling of premature, it's like a premature trying to figure out what went wrong. Something was premature. Something happened too early or premature. There's definitely a weighing down on both of them. When I see them, there's kind of they come together, but then they separate, but then they come back together again. So this tells me that they have resolved any issues. I'm seeing more open, more communication, where when they were here, they didn't have that open communication on a regular to be able to go to one another with, this is what I'm feeling, or this is how I'm feeling at this time, and can we fix this or fix that. I am getting a sense from her that she grew tired of having to fix things all the time. Like emotionally worn out and drained.
She said that's true.
Yeah, but he gives me the sense, and I'm trying to articulate it the best I can, is and it might not have, and I may have took it as her passing, but it could have been just her simply leaving and walking away, and he had this overwhelming, like, I need to be with her, this like dread come over him of this premature, something happened premature, almost like it happened too soon or too quick. She keeps wanting to give honor and credit to you. She just said you have such great strength. It's admirable and something to be desired in someone. Something that she is looking forward to working on within her own soul work and missions. When she decides to come back or reincarnate into another life, whether that's here on Earth or somewhere else. They definitely show affection to one another now. I feel like there was a lot of like heated discord and heated shortcomings, like one another being cut off from talking. But now when they're around each other, they smile at one another, and they're just like rolling their eyes at each other like, we're so dumb for not like trying another way of doing it, another way of communicating. But they definitely have risen above the issues at hand. And you know what's the funny part, Yvonne? As he's like giving me all these feelings about her and this dread that came over him, which I thought he was talking about her death, or his exact words were, she left. I kept feeling like, why do I feel like they're not together, or they weren't together? But I didn't say it because I thought, okay, well, maybe that's because she left. She went to heaven. So maybe that's why they're not together. Like, you know what I mean? I should have went with what I was already feeling, which was like not together.
Right. Yes.
But the way he articulates stuff, it's hard to communicate what he's articulating. And I don't know if he was like that when he was alive, but he kind of reminds me of like a puzzle piece that you're trying to fit into the puzzle, but every time you turn, it doesn't work. Like you try this way, that way, and it just doesn't fit. He's like the mismatched puzzle piece that just doesn't fit. And I think that, I get the sense that he just never felt like he fit. And he always had trouble fitting into a norm, maybe, or what people thought of him to be in a norm. Getting confused on that, but I definitely feel like this mixed matched puzzle piece that just didn't fit. And he always had trouble articulating this fitness or wanting to fit properly. I don't know if anything resonates with her, but they're very chatty now.
She said that's true. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So it must be all resonating with her.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I would rest assured they are definitely together and enjoying each other's company now. And understanding the learning that the understanding that they are learning now from it all. Those of you who were asking about the suicide video, let me get that for you. It has been quite interesting to see all the comments and everybody. I really do feel, I really hope that people share it. Even if you're not suicidal, it is definitely something that you're going to learn something from about death. You will definitely learn something from it. You know, I wanted to say black sheep, but I kept going towards the puzzle piece. Yeah, not fitting in black sheep. Okay, Deborah. Well, I hope tonight's connection with them both helped you. And tonight's live, unless Deborah wants to say anything else. Oh, you're welcome, Deborah. Very welcome. I hope it helps you find some kind of peace to know that they're okay and that you can let go of any worry or emotions that you feel like you needed to change something or change him. There was no changing him. There's just knowing that he is there. They had worked things out, that he's on this new path of learning and he may incarnate. He didn't really express to me yes or no if he was or not, but that is something that he is in his soul right now considering. Whether he comes back and kind of repeats certain lessons that he just didn't overcome while he was here, that's really up to him. But just knowing that they're together and that they're okay should give you some kind of understanding that you can finish your life out and one day you'll get to see both of them again. So I hope that helps. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's live, and the first few readings is just an inkling or an insight to what a cosmic coaching call looks like. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of membership stuff over the weekend for my members. So if you want to be part of the Patreon membership to be able to be part of those exclusives, because the you guys don't actually let me see. You guys don't actually get to see what I do on the Patreon unless you're a member. So if you'd like to become a member, you can join the membership. There's the membership. The mystery boxes aren't going out until June, guys. That's why we made it a June box. So you will see those later in June. Actually, we should be able to get them out like
next week.
Next week, yeah.
Not till next week.
Not till next week. We're still preparing them and putting them together. I'll be putting out a card reading for this week, which should be fun for you guys. The card readings are fun, guys. Check those out. Just keep checking the wall and you'll see them, and it'll be on YouTube as well. So guys, we are giving out a huge prize if you add yourself to the YouTube channel moon.eir, the Divine Medium. Subscribe to the channel and take a screenshot that you joined and subscribed. Send it to the team through Messenger, and you will be entered to win the big prize. And I want it to be a surprise. I don't want to tell anybody what it is. You guys are missing a lot of good stuff if you are not part of that channel. Like a lot of good stuff. So I will see you guys next Tuesday if I don't see you this week. And I hope you guys enjoyed the suicide blog video. And I will see you guys, Tuesday. All right, guys, have a good night.